Hey there, Barclayites. Welcome to another week of Counselor Corner. This week, we're going to build upon what we talked about last time, which was when we deep dived into anxiety to really pick it apart and earn it, make it our own. We talked about the difference between fear and anxiety, and we considered 4 questions. The first one was, what are 3 things that trigger your anxiety? The second one, what are 3 physical symptoms that you experience when you feel anxious? The third question was, what are 3 thoughts you tend to have when you feel anxious? And the final question was, what are 3 things you do to cope when you are anxious? So this week, as we continue with this discussion, we want to talk about countering anxiety-producing thoughts. Once we figure out if what we're experiencing is a legit fear or if there's no real threat, we have to attack the anxiety-producing thought. But how do we do that? We do it by inserting a rational counterstatement. What in the world am I talking about? Well, first of all, rational means logical, reasonable, more probable, more likely. And a counterstatement is a statement that goes against the original message our brain is sending. This worksheet is about countering anxiety, and it's asking us to come up with a rational counterstatement for each of the following thoughts. Here is an anxiety-producing thought. I can't go to the mall with my hair like this. Everyone will notice me. How many of you have felt like that? You've woken up, had a bad hair day, ladies, and you're just like, I do not want to go to school because people are going to laugh at me. They're going to point. They're going to talk about me. This could certainly produce a significant amount of anxiety. But if we were going to counter that thought, we might insert a rational counterstatement like, wait a minute, my hair does look a little messy, but everyone will be too occupied with their own things to notice. Even if they do notice, I doubt they would care. So that's an example of an anxiety-producing thought, something that enters our mind that makes us feel really nervous, that makes us not want to perform or show up. And this is an example of a rational counterstatement, something that we would tell ourselves instead of the anxiety-producing statement. But remember, the rational counterstatement is logical. It's more likely. It makes sense. It's reasonable. This week, what I want you to do is look at this worksheet. In the beginning, we have 3 examples of anxiety-producing thoughts. We've looked at the first one, and there are 2 more. I know I won't be able to finish my work on time. What is a rational counterstatement that you might provide to someone who feels this way and is experiencing an extreme amount of anxiety because of this thought? And then here's another one. I can't face my boss. She's going to yell at me. Change boss to teacher or parent, something that makes sense for you. In this next section, though, I want you to make it your own. What are 3 anxiety-producing thoughts that you have? And then I want you to come up with rational counterstatements for your anxiety-producing thoughts. Next week, we're going to talk about how to use these rational counterstatements to reduce our anxiety. But for now, we want to create them so that we can insert them into our daily lives. That's it for now. Have a great week, Barclayites. We will see you next week in Counselor Corner.